What's up, guys? Welcome back to Road to the 2 Comma Club. Justin here, and holy crap, today was just like bonkers. Like, it was just nuts. And I want to talk about the cannabis update that I've been doing with my trades. I want to give you an update about that, and then I want to give you an update about some trades I did with Tesla today, just to kind of give you like an up-to-date kind of update on what I'm thinking and how I'm playing these two particular genre of stocks with cannabis and then the particular company with Tesla. So let's just get into it. Now, so the last video I made about the risky trade I made with the cannabis turns out not playing out so well. So I'm going to talk about what I did. I dumped my Tilray call on yesterday. So I sold my Tilray call, and here's where I wasn't paying attention. I was being stupid, and I was like, with all the other stuff going on, like in my life right now, I wasn't paying attention like I should have. And I didn't realize that my Tilray call expired in November of this year. So like in a couple of weeks. And I wasn't even paying attention to that. I kind of just assumed it was like at least next year, March or something. So that price of that option started to drop pretty quick towards the end, especially since as a lot of us predicted, like the stocks would go up after the legalization of cannabis. It kind of went down a lot, actually. And so what I did was I sold that call, and I was able to salvage $472.33. So in the grand scheme of things, I spent $2,350 on the call. And yeah, I took a big hit on that one. But at the end of the day, I mean, salvaging $472 to me, like that's not, a small chunk of change. I'll take that over $0. And so I was happy with that. And in fact, Tilray stock did continue to drop after I sold it, and it's still been going down since then. So it was a good move on my part to salvage what little money I had left. And so I'm glad I did that, but it still sucks that my prediction was not right. Although I do still think in the long run it could go back up. However, I was reading some articles about Tilray and how hugely high its like PE multiple is. And normally I don't go off of just that number, like I don't really stick really hard to those numbers, but they mentioned it was like over 500 for like a forward earnings or something like that, which is just kind of like absurd. Like that's even more than Amazon, Netflix. And so at some point you have to kind of say, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. And so I wasn't really thinking about that, but so that's what happened with that. So let's just move on to the Canopy growth calls. I still have those 8 calls that I did buy on margin. I'm still holding on to those, but they expire in January of 2020. So I have a lot of time with that. And I feel much more confident with that company than I do with Tilray. And so even though I made the most profit off of Tilray, I'll take that. Like I still made over 18 grand profit with Tilray. I'm happy with that. I just don't think I'm going to get back into Tilray unless it goes below $100. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that. But with my Kronos calls, I still have those, and I have until January 2021 for those. And so I still got a lot of time. And so I did sell my 2 Canopy growth calls, and I did take a loss on that one. Spent $2,300 on those 2 calls, and I was able to salvage $891.61. So at the end of the day, it's not that bad. I'm still up a little over $4,600 overall on my Canopy growth investments, and so I'm not disappointed. And I was trying to act quick. I was noticing looks like the weed stocks aren't going to be doing that great. So I tried to get out with what little money I had left. However, I'm still feeling confident over the long run. And in fact, this is what I wanted to mention. Another YouTuber that I follow, I believe his name is Kevin Pham. He goes by Cyberworld7. I watch a lot of his videos because he is really heavily invested in cannabis stocks, and so he has a lot of information about all those companies, especially if you live in Canada. He invests in a lot of those companies, and so if you want to give him check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. But he gave me permission to use a couple pictures that he took. He buys recreational marijuana, and he buys a lot of it. And so he's been going to different stores and kind of checking out what products they still have, which ones are selling out, and all that stuff. And he's noticed a lot of products are selling out. And he took pictures of the lines, and even like 2 days later, like in the evening, there were still long lines out of the dispensaries. And so I think that's a good sign because it's just showing that the demand is really strong. And the demand is much higher than anticipated. And in fact, I didn't write this down, but I'll mention it now. I did buy those Shopify calls. I didn't buy them the day after the day I said I was going to in that video. Frankly, I forgot. But luckily it did drop down from like 145 back to like 135, 133. I was able to get in right around that price, and I believe I picked up 3 calls. And so I'll post on the screen what I bought. I totally, with my notes, totally forgot about that. But Shopify has been doing okay since I got those. And so that was another play I wanted to make with cannabis, kind of to diversify a little bit. And hopefully that one will play out. But I'm going to hold on to that one for a while. So I'll give you another update on that one later. Okay, now I want to move on to Tesla. So, also before I start, I'm going to link to the descriptions a couple articles I was reading about the cannabis stuff, but I don't want to go in any more detail because I don't want this video to run too long. But I want to go into Tesla. So, with Tesla, holy crap. So today, they were single-handedly the company that saved my ass today. We had a $19,000 swing today. So I was, at one point today, I was down $9,000, finished the day up 10,000, like 200. So like, holy crap, I was just going crazy. Like, it was just so stressful. Honestly, I didn't look at the stocks for like 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the day. I just kind of just blocked it out. So, but I was very happy. One of my friends was texting me kind of updates about Tesla stock. So I was happy with how it finished out. Okay, so now I want to kind of summarize what I've been doing with Tesla because, you know, I'm obviously behind on the 2-day recap videos. And so I want to talk about what trades I've been doing with Tesla specifically. Now, as you guys know, Tesla stock has been getting hit pretty hard. The SEC has been giving Elon a lot of grief about all that crap. And so what I've been doing is I've been trying to load up on calls as their price came down because I still believe in Tesla a lot. Everyone who has their Tesla vehicles love it. And if you watch Hyperchange TV, I highly suggest you check that channel out on YouTube. I've been watching a lot of his videos. He's been posting the huge delivery numbers that Tesla's been doing. I believe they like doubled their delivery from like last quarter. It's just nuts. So I want to talk about, okay, I need to like make a reminder to myself during this video because I don't want to ramble, but I want to talk about the trades I did up until like this week. And then I want to talk about the trades I made today. And I want to talk about why I felt comfortable buying more, even though it was going up and with earnings. Okay, so let's just go back to, July 9th. I bought that Tesla call, $350 strike. This was when Tesla was trading at $312 a share. Now, that was a long time ago. I'm still holding on to that one, though. But the more recent calls I bought, as the price came down, when Tesla was trading at $279.50, I bought another January call, actually 2 January calls, with a 315 strike. So it was more affordable because the price was lower. So I was able to get a lower strike. And then on October 8th, Tesla was trading at $264. I bought same expiration, January 2020, 325 strike this time. Then October 9th, I made 2 trades. So when Tesla was trading at like $257 a share, I bought an August 16th, 2019 expiration, $300 strike. And then later on that day, like I think it was like an hour later, I was like, you know what, I need to get another one. So I bought an August 16th, 2019, $315 strike. And Tesla was trading like around $260 at the time. So that was my plan. I was like, Tesla's getting really, really cheap. I noticed in the last like year or 2 years, whatever, like Tesla has not really dipped below 250. That kind of seems like their floor and their resistance level, or their support level, I'm sorry. And so I do feel strongly that Tesla's going to go way back up. And especially with this quarter, how it's been, their deliveries and production has been doing very well. And so that takes me to today. So today is when my friend was telling me he recently unloaded his, and I want to make a video with him because he's been doing very well. He invested in marijuana, made a lot of money, dumped it like a week ago at a really good time, and then got into Tesla at a really good time. So he's just been killing it right now with his timing. So I want to talk to him on the channel maybe later if he wants to. But he was telling me how Tesla was going up a lot, and he kind of texted me this morning when I woke up, and I was like, holy crap, okay. And I didn't realize that Elon wanted to move the earnings to tomorrow instead of November, which is when originally they were reporting earnings. So I bought 2 more calls. I bought them on margin pretty much. I sold some calls today. Like I sold a Netflix call. I sold 2 Home Depot calls to kind of free up some cash, but I still ended up using some margin to pick up 2 more calls for this January of 2019. So I need to remember that, Justin. Remember that your expiration's in 2019. Because seriously, I hate when I forget. So $300 strike this time because, you know, it was going up. I figured it would keep going up. The momentum would continue. So I bought those 2 calls. So now that means I'm totally, the calls that I'm currently invested in right now, I'm in for $34,521. And the current market value as of close of October 23rd today, it's currently valued at $42,767.50. So I was down on all of those as recently as this morning. Currently, I'm up on all those. So like the price action with Tesla today was just, it saved my butt, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So now let me tell you why, and I'm going to end the video here. I want to talk about why I'm so confident with Tesla, specifically for this earnings report. Normally, I don't like to load up on calls before an earnings report unless I really, really feel strongly. And here's why I really, really feel strongly about it. Again, as I mentioned before, the delivery's awesome. But more specifically, when Elon got that whole settlement with the SEC, he decided that he was going to buy $20 million more shares of Tesla stock. And usually when he puts his money where his mouth is like that, he's confident, and that kind of built some more assurance and confidence with me to invest more into Tesla, because I felt like, he was really confident on what they were doing right now, and that's why he was picking right now. Also, he probably wanted to kind of give a little middle finger to the short sellers and SEC for all that. But that was one. Number 2, he did want to push up the earnings report to tomorrow instead of November 7th, which I believe was the date they originally were going to do it. And there's an article that my friend was mentioning. He was talking about a big short seller of Tesla became a long investor now of Tesla. He totally reversed tracks. So like, that's huge. That doesn't happen very often, I don't think. I don't really hear about that happening very often. I did find an article talking about there's actually 2 short sellers that reversed their opinion on Tesla. So I will link in the description below for that one. I haven't read it yet, but my friend told me what he mentioned was that Elon really wouldn't want to push earnings early to give bad news. And that really makes a lot of sense. Like, why would you want to push earnings sooner to talk about how you guys been doing unless it's been really well? And knowing Elon, he's probably just so impatient. He just wants to kind of show all the short sellers of how wrong they've been. And I think that's the reason why the earnings, he wants to push it up. I think is to talk about how well they're doing, which means the stock will go up tomorrow. And that's why I bought those calls today. Now, will I buy more tomorrow if the stock jumps? It depends on how much. I still think I would if it, as long as it stayed maybe under 320, I think I would pick up some more calls. If it jumps to like 350, like something ridiculous like that, I'm going to jump up and down to celebrate, but I don't know if I'm going to buy any more at that price because it'll be real expensive unless I go like really high in my strike, like maybe $400 again or something like that. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. So we're going to leave the video at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And please comment below what you think is going to happen with the earnings report tomorrow. I know it's kind of late when you'll see this, but what are your thoughts on Tesla going forward in the next quarter? Another thing I left out was that I've heard from Tesla Time News that Elon Musk said he might hold back on spending for another 2 quarters just to kind of show people how profitable they can be. I think that's amazing. And I think that'll be a really, really good catalyst to drive that strike price up. And so I forgot to mention that, wanted to throw that in there. But what are your thoughts? Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for commenting. And I will reply to all of them, I promise, once I get some time to respond to them all. But again, I really do love you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.